This is the only sign-up form strategy video you are ever going to have to watch. My name's Gavin, I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and this is the exact strategy I teach members in my school community. I'm gonna show you the strategy, the thinking behind my strategy, how it increases the actual list growth of capturing subscribers, the on-site conversion rate, as well as capturing SMS consent as well. This is a long video, so sit back, watch it, feel free to break it up into sections. It's also gonna have a section showing you how to do a live build directly within Klaviyo, along with the thinking behind the strategy. Now, at certain points, you're gonna see me mention a school community. That's because this is part of my school community training. If you want access to that, click the link in the description. Really cool place to actually learn how to become a better email marketer. And if you're an e-commerce business, how to implement strategies that 95% of agencies don't even know how to do as well. So check those out. Any questions, check them in the comment section down below. Let's get into the video. So capturing zero-party data, this is where actually you can learn a lot more about your subscribers, and you can take that information and send people down custom pathways within your welcome series to speak to people as like individuals rather than as a collective, i.e., do you want to have a generic welcome series for everybody, or do you want to figure out what people are interested in and send them down separate pathways in that welcome series to increase the conversion rates of your email? So obviously, if you remember, we set up our sign-up forms with that 8-second delay and our fly-out forms with that 45-second delay, ready, route. When you're building your pop-up forms, and when you then go on to clone your sign-up forms for fly-outs, you can add a step here. Now, this is only if you want to add some complexity here and increase your conversion rates. But what you can do here is if you click up here, step, just here, you can add a step and add a series of buttons. And you can ask people a series of questions. What I like to simply ask them is, what are they most interested in? Okay? And when we ask them that, we can figure out what our business sells, and we can simply say, what collection are you most interested in buying? Or we can identify other ways of figuring out that exact same thing. What are you trying to do? As you can see here, this client here is saying, are you trying to improve your muscle development? Are you trying to get anti-aging stuff, neuroprotection? And what we'll do with those answers is we'll send people down different splits in the welcome series based off of what they tell us. So, as you can see here, we say, what are you most interested in? And we have a button, okay? Now, really quickly, the action that you want to trigger off of somebody clicking that button is submit form, show next step, and this is where it gets interesting, submit hidden fields, okay? So when they click this button, it will tag their profile with a property and a value. So you have to click when you're building these buttons, profile property, create the category. You can scroll down here. You can click add property. I like to use interest category. Now, as you can see, for me, it's already showing up. But for you, if you don't have that category set up yet, you want to click create interest category. So that'll create a profile property. Every one of these buttons should have the same profile property. However, the value, which is this next section, should vary according to what button they click. So as you can see here, this button here, we have interest category as the profile property, and the value is weight loss. And we manually type in weight loss because that's what we want to know. Then we can go over to the next button, which is muscle development, and we click interest category. We type interest category again, and the value is muscle development. Can you see what's happening? We have the profile property, and then depending on what button they tag or click, we tag them with a different value. What this allows us to do is learn more about our audience. And what you'll find is you'll get people answering these questions. Then they go on to the final step, of course, where you give them that discount code. But how do we use that information, right? We've collected that information. How do we use it? What we want to do is we want to take those tags and we want to use the exact same tags in our welcome series. So let me show you. This is a welcome series we built. Ignore this warning. We are currently in the process of warming up the account, hence the reason for not the branded sender ID. But you'll notice here we've created a series of conditional splits that send people down different paths based off of what they've told us they're interested in. Take a look at this. As you can see here, we've got properties about somebody interest category equals weight loss. So if they went to that form and they said that they're interested in weight loss by clicking that button, we will identify them by the properties about somebody, interest category equaling weight loss. If it equals weight loss, they'll go down this side here. If it doesn't equal weight loss, we go down to the next step and we create a new conditional split. And you see what we're doing here? We're sending people down different splits based off of what they've told us they're interested in. And what we're able to then do is send emails that speak specifically to that issue, right? And as a result, these emails are going to convert and get, look at that, click rate of 33 point, obviously it's a small data set, but what we're learning here is we're getting emails that are naturally going to get much better engagement because they're speaking exactly to what the individual cares about. And we're automating this because once we've done it at the start, we've built this here, it's all done, everyone just goes down a custom flow. And we're speaking to these people as individuals, which means our emails are much more likely to resonate. Now, I'm going to talk about how to structure a welcome series flow in a lot more depth later, but for the time being, just note that building out a essentially sign-up forms that capture zero-party data will help your welcome series become more effective at converting subscribers into first-time customers. All right, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to create, once again, you have access to this document here, and this is how we create that information. And I've even given you the tags here that you can use, settings here, to collect that zero-party data. In the next video, I'm going to be talking how to use pop-up forms to remind existing subscribers of their discount codes to increase how many people turn from subscribers into first-time customers and to increase the on-site conversion rate of your website. Really cool. I recommend you check out this next video. It's really, really important. Okay, so this is a really cool way to increase the on-site conversion rates using pop-up forms in Klaviyo. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to confirm that we have our offer, right? This is the offer here. It's literally going to be the exact same offer that we have in the final step of our welcome series. What we're going to do right now is we're going to create a form that only targets people who have subscribed to email marketing but have not placed an order and reminds them of their discount code to increase the on-site conversion rate. We can actually use Klaviyo to target specific segments of people within our Klaviyo account and show them different types of forms. And in this case, we're going to create a segment of people who have subscribed to email marketing but have not placed an order, and we're going to target them with a flyout form that reminds readers of their discount code. So let's take a look at this now. Essentially what we're going to want to do is we can make a custom form that shows people their discount code, but one really easy solution that we could also do here, we can create a custom form to show them a discount code, of course, but we can also duplicate our existing forms like these, delete all the other steps preceding it. Okay, so let me show you here. Let's assume I cloned this form. What I could do is I could delete all of these steps, delete, and only keep the success message. And then I can just change the wording a little bit of this form to say, hey, don't forget, you still have your 10% off discount code. Here's your code. What we're doing here is we're creating a form that's essentially just a reminder, okay? Now you can create a custom one. Let me show you how we've created our custom one that just reminds people of their discount code. But if you want to save time, you can literally just keep the success message of your existing form and do exactly what I'm going to show you. So here's an example of a mobile version. We have this form here, okay? And it literally just reminds people of the item they left behind, okay? Now, or rather, the discount code they left behind. What we're going to want to do here is not have a teaser. We're going to make our styles as a flyout, okay? And make sure it's set to the correct device. For example, targeting. Here we have mobile after 4 days. We're going to have it show up after 20 seconds. And we want it to be a flyout because it's a little bit less obtrusive. And in the targeting section, we're going to say include certain lists and segments. And then we're going to create a segment of people whom we want to target with these forms. Now, I've actually given you the definition of that segment. It's going to be here. We're going to call it subscribe but not purchase. and it's going to be anybody who has subscribed to email marketing at least once, and, very important that you say and, placed orders 0 times overall time. Feel free to change this definition as much as you want. Placed order if it's WooCommerce or Shopify. And subscribe to list 0 times in the last 3 days. The reason we add this bottom condition here is because it gives people a 3-day window to subscribe and use their discount code here before they see this reminder. Because the last thing we want to do is we want to have somebody subscribe to email marketing and then immediately get this reminder again. Doesn't make any sense, which is why we say subscribe to list 0 times in the last 3 days, which prevents somebody from instantly getting that reminder right here. What these forms do is they increase the on-site conversion rate. That's pretty much it. Just reminds people, and it only targets a very specific segment of readers. Subscribe but not purchased. Now, for the mobile, or rather the desktop version, it's really simple. Have it set to display on desktop only. Have the targeting be, and have it display after 20 seconds as a flyout, and have the targeting be subscribe but not purchased. Just select that segment. After you create the segment, then go in and select the segment that you want to target. Exact same thing for mobile, but just select mobile only. And these forms here greatly increase your on-site conversion rates because it's just reminding people who haven't used their discount code to use that discount code. Maximize the on-site conversion rates. And as an e-commerce business, the thing you want to focus on is increasing how many subscribers turn into first-time customers. Very important. All right, if you've gotten to this part of the video, you're probably right, like thinking, what the hell, where do I capture SMS? I'm going to show you how to capture SMS properly. A lot of people, what they do is in their initial pop-ups and their 8-second delay and in the 45-second delay, which you should have, they ask for SMS either on the first step or the second step of the sign-up form. Terrible idea. When you ask for SMS in forms like this, you're going to see anywhere between a 25 to 45% drop-off in form completion rate, meaning how many people go from the start to the end of the sign-up form. Now, some of you may be thinking, who cares, right? Like, who cares if they drop off after I've already captured their email subscription and then I ask them for SMS and they close the form? Who cares? Even if you give them a skip option, you're going to see those high numbers of form and completion rates. But right, I've already got their email subscription. Who cares? The reason you should care is because that means that less people are seeing this final step of the form, which is where you're actually going to be making your money. You want people to see that final step of the form. And if you're asking for SMS, you're seeing about a 25 to 45% increase, or rather form completion drop-off rate, which means that number of people is not seeing the final step, which means you are compromising SMS subscription, or rather on-site conversion rates, for an SMS subscription. What you are saying by doing that is that you care more about the SMS subscription than you do about the actual conversion or somebody placing an order on your website, which is stupid. You don't want to be doing that. Instead, you want to be capturing SMS in a different way. Now, I'm going to talk about SMS marketing a little bit later in terms of its importance and when I recommend using it. And really, you should only be using SMS for 3 types of messages: product release, sale, and product restock. But I'll talk about that later. If you want to capture SMS, you want to do it as a separate form. You want to create a new form that is both desktop and mobile versions only that ask people for SMS. Sign up for SMS, right? You can give them an incentive if you want to, super easy, but you want to capture it separately to your existing sign-up forms to not compromise on the on-site conversion rate. And you want to do that, okay, by creating a desktop and a mobile version only, which we've already been over, okay? And you want to only target a specific group of people. People who have subscribed to email marketing and subscribed to SMS marketing, or rather is not subscribed to SMS marketing, and subscribe to list 0 times in the last 3 days. Now, I've gone ahead and given you a definition, or rather a screenshot of how I would recommend creating that segment. Basically, it's just anybody who's subscribed to email marketing at least once and cannot receive SMS marketing and subscribe to list 0 times in the last 3 days. Because we do that last 3 days section for the same reason that we do the previous one, because we don't want somebody subscribing to SMS, or rather email, and immediately getting this pop-up. okay? Now, the targeting that we have here is we have it show after 30 seconds, and then we don't show it again after 14 days. And what this does is essentially allows us, exact same rule for desktop and mobile, by the way, but we just have a mobile-only version and a desktop-only version. And it allows us to go ahead and capture SMS without compromising on the subscription to conversion rate, or how many people turn into subscribers, some subscribers into customers. We create a form just like that. Now, you can offer an incentive here, right? You can offer a sign up for SMS and get an extra 10% off. Just really important that you create a separate SMS welcome series flow for these people, and you include that discount code here, okay? I personally don't do it, but you can if you want. Can be useful if SMS growth is an important aspect for your overall marketing strategy. But that's how you want to create, or rather capture SMS using pop-up forms. So when we're capturing someone's email subscription, we first have to consider the multiple ways in which somebody can go from your store into your Klaviyo account. The first way is through the integration that you have natively. So when you integrate, for example, Shopify, or in this case, WooCommerce, into your store, anybody who is an active customer in that platform will automatically, or rather a past customer in that platform, will automatically come into your account. This is me having clicked the integration, for example, and you can see here that when we subscribe, we can click this, collect email addresses. Email subscribers enable customers to opt into email marketing during checkout. So when they click checkout and they click that box, subscribe me to email marketing, they will be added from the platform into this store. And you can actually select which lists you want people to go into. So that's one way somebody can actually go added, or rather be added to your list. The other way is in those forms at the bottom of your website. For example, if we go into 1023 Labs, for example, and we go here, and usually this might not have it, we go yes. At the very bottom, there's typically like a, hey, subscribe for email marketing or subscribe for updates. That's an embed form. That's another way that people can get added to your list. The other way is that pop-up form that you just saw, which is what we're going to be going into depth about here. So I have a very specific strategy that I like to follow when it comes to pop-up forms, and you actually have access to this document in the description of the video, along with designs for other pop-up forms, specifically these forms here, which will give you an indication in terms of the dimensions. But today, we're going to be going over how to configure these pop-ups to ensure that you're maximizing the amount of people who join your email list, and to ensure that your forms are shown to as many people as possible without annoying them. Following that, we're also going to be talking in the later sections or classes of this course, essentially. We're going to be talking about how to capture zero-party data, what that means, how to use that. We're also going to be talking about increasing the on-site conversion rate with reminder pop-ups like this. We're also going to be talking about how to capture SMS consent as well. And we're also going to be talking about why most pop-up form tools are complete bullshit and you shouldn't be using them. And lastly, we're also going to be talking about what to test in your sign-up forms and how to test those. But let's get into the first section, which is how to ensure that you capture the most amount of people who visit your website to push them into your email funnel. The first thing we need to consider is the fact that people are going to be showing up differently on different devices, or rather on your website based on the device they show up on. Meaning people are going to be seeing your pop-up forms, which I like to use pop-ups, differently based off of the device that they're on your website from. For example, desktop viewers will see one pop-up, mobile viewers will see another pop-up, which is why it's so important to ensure that you're designing pop-up forms with mobile and desktop in mind, and ensuring that you have separate pop-up forms for those devices. So, the first pop-up form we want to have is a pop-up form that shows up after 8 seconds. Note, it is a time delay of 8 seconds, and it's a pop-up. As you can see here, these are the display and timing and the targeting rules that we like to configure within Klaviyo to ensure that our pop-up shows up properly. So, you're going to go into the display section, and let me quickly show you this. If we go into an actual Klaviyo account with the pop-up form, you'll see that these settings match exactly the screenshot that we have here. But this is, for example, our desktop, and we want to click targeting and behavior. And when we click display, as you can see here, display, these are the ways, or rather this is the way that we want to configure this pop-up, okay? We want to have it show up based on rules. We want to have it after an 8-second time delay. We want it to show after the visitor closes the form. Really quickly, if we look at here, after 1 day. So show it again after 1 day. And ensure that it's desktop only. Okay? And then we also want to click outside the form to close, untick that. Because we want them to only click that close button to close the form. We want this to show up as a pop-up after 8 seconds. Then in the targeting, which you can see once again in the screenshot here, we select don't show to existing Klaviyo profiles because anybody who's already subscribed to email marketing shouldn't see this form again. And we don't want to show it on these URLs: cart, checkout, page, order, product, thank you. Okay? And URL. We don't want to show up there because we're going to create another form that does only show up on these pages. Okay? So if we go here, we can see all those rules clearly identified here. Okay? That's the behavior for the form that we want. Now, some rules for your pop-up forms. You never want to ask for their first name or ask for anything other than their email address in that first step. You want to make it as easy as possible for someone to give you their email address. Nice and easy, okay? Just their email address. And then you want to do the exact same thing for a mobile form. The form is differently designed, of course, because someone's going to see it on a different device. The targeting and behavior here, you're just going to have it show as mobile only though. See this here? Exact same rules, but mobile only. Exact same rules, mobile only. Okay? And you're going to have 2 different forms for each device, and you'll get to see how people interact differently based off of the device that they're actually on, because people will interact differently with your forms based off of where they're viewing them from. We have desktop and we have mobile. Okay? After we create the form, we want to ensure that we have a teaser. Okay? I like to have a teaser that is a rectangle that shows after the form is closed, that is medium, okay, and is set for the device specifically, but shows up on the left-hand side. Left-hand side. Okay, so if I go here and I click teaser, see how it's on the left-hand side here? And obviously the copy has to match what you're giving in the sign-up form, of course, 10% off. The reason we put it in the left-hand side is because that is the least obtrusive place to actually put it. Most websites, when you're on their website, will have some sort of thing that needs to be shown here in the bottom section or on the right-hand side or in the top side. So what you want to be doing is ensuring that this little section here does not cover any important information that affects the UX, right? The user experience. So have it on the left-hand side, and when they click it, it'll reopen the form, okay? So you're gonna wanna do that for both desktop and for mobile, okay? And you have those there. Then what you're gonna wanna do is after that, so we'll just do a little arrow here to show you that it's like the next step. And you can see here that it's just deciding to act up on me, of course. We go here, okay? Next step. And that's when we ask them for their first name. Or rather, email address, no first name. Make the offer straight to the middle, okay? And then when they press enter, it's going to take them to the next step. Now, I'm going to show you why we do this in the next step, why we collect the zero-party data later on. Just know that after this next step, you're typically going to ask them questions about what they're interested in. I'll tell you how to use that a little bit later on, but for right now, just note that there is a second step that asks them what they're interested in, okay? Now, at the very final step, you want to make sure that you give them the discount code. Do not force somebody to leave the homepage or the website to get the discount code. I see so many businesses do this where they'll say like, hey, check your inbox for your discount code. Stupidest thing I've ever seen. What you're doing is you're forcing somebody off your website to spend money with you. That makes no sense. Make this use code button, okay? Give them the discount code, make the use code button, and auto apply discount code, which is this URL here. Just change the your store with your URL and the discount code that you end up using. That way it makes it super easy for someone to use the discount code, and it auto applies it at checkout, and means that you don't have to leave your website to actually spend money with you, and just increases the on-site conversion rate. So many email marketers don't realize that, but you want to be focusing on on-site conversion rates, and you want to make sure that this code is super easy to use. So that's the first one that you're going to do. 8-second pop-up form, okay? Now, What you're going to do after that, though, is you're literally going to clone these forms. So you'll have a desktop and a mobile version separately. Let me show you what that quickly looks like. As you can see here, we have a mobile version and a desktop version right here. So we can see those two numbers there. Okay, see how they're getting those conversions right there? This is obviously a very new store, so you're not going to see a whole lot of conversions actually taking place here, but nonetheless, you have the desktop and the mobile version. What you're then going to do is you're going to clone these forms. You're literally going to click this here, go to the right, click the three dots, and hit clone. You're going to clone them. You're going to clone both the desktop and the mobile. You're going to rename it to sign up form 2, mobile, sign up form 2, desktop. You're going to go into those forms and you're going to change the settings a little bit. What you're essentially going to do here after cloning the forms is you're going to create a flyout form that shows up on those URLs that we excluded from the first form to give somebody a second opportunity to subscribe to your email marketing. Because it's kind of crazy, right? A lot of people do this where they'll have the pop-up form. When somebody closes it, they'll never see that offer again. You want to ensure that you have another pop-up that targets people later in their customer journey with your brand and reiterates the discount code again and gives people another opportunity to subscribe for email marketing after they close that first form. So let me show you this. As you can see here, we now have the flyout forms. This is the exact same form. The only difference is we've removed the teaser and we've changed the targeting. Obviously, this is the desktop version to show up after 45 seconds for a display. And we have it show up on the following URLs: cart, checkout, and product. Same again for mobile. Show only on mobile, 45 seconds, cart, checkout, and product. Okay? This is another opportunity for someone to subscribe to email marketing. And you'll find a lot of the times that these forms get better conversion rates than your first forms because they're targeting people later in their customer journey when they're more likely to buy, meaning these offers help get people across the line quicker, which increases your on-site conversion rate, which increases your revenue, which increases your business. Woo! That is how you do it. So take a look at this form here too, or rather this board. You can see we have all the settings clearly outlined here for you. Nice and easy, targeting rules, 45 seconds, okay? That's the flyout. Now, in the next video, which I highly recommend you watch, we're gonna talk about this, the zero-party data, which is capturing what people say they're interested in and how we can use that information later on in certain flows. Let's get into that now.
Hey guys, Esteban here again. We will create the flyout for the product page. In this case, we will clone the forms that we have created for the home page. Let's name properly. And we just need to do the following thing, and it's really easy. It's a flyout, and we need to change display and targeted. That's it, guys. You already have the product page sign up forms. And now we are going to do the same for the mobile version. This is a good tip. Work on the first one, will save you a lot of time. Oops, spotted an error. That's why we need to double check always everything. Cool. Then we need to change time delays and the targeting and behavior. You can do this even faster.
Really quickly, sorry to interrupt the video. I just wanted to tell you something really cool that we've started doing with Inbox. I've actually created a school community where I teach you anything and everything I know about email and SMS marketing, from really advanced campaign strategies to how to simply set up your Klaviyo account, all the way to building really, really cool automations for the back end of your e-commerce store. Whether you're a business owner trying to learn how to do email marketing or an email marketer trying to learn how to become a better email marketer, there is a link in the description to this school community where I teach you everything I know. Check it out, it's worthwhile. Book a call to have a chat with me to see if you're a right fit for the community, and if you are, I'd love to get you in there. Anyway, sorry for interrupting your video, let's get back to it.
Hey guys, let's continue creating forms. In this case, will we be creating the discount reminder form. You can use a side image, or you can use the background image as well. As we already have the template created for this, let's use the background image. Cool. And again, let's use the first form that we have created and name properly. In this case, this form will be target a segment, so let's create this segment. You should be instructed by your project manager, and this is our strategy. So let's create a segment, guys. This is the name. So, and let's create this segment with the instruction that you have received. This segment will be based for those who are subscribed to email marketing but still without any purchase on their history. So cool. In the meantime, we can continue creating our form. It's just one slide, so this is what we are going to do. Delete the step that you don't need. Delete the email input. Cool. Let's replace the background with the proper one. And let's follow the design. Set up headlines. And then you just need to set up the button to close the form. And this is how you just create the sign up form with just one slide, just by setting on the button to close the form. I'm sorry for the mistake talking. You will block the success stage. So that's it, guys. Let's set time for this after 4 days and 20-second delays. So 20-second delays, show after 4 days, and you will target to a specific segment and look for the segment that we just created. Cool, guys. And this will be a flyout form. That's it, guys. You have created the discount reminder form for desktop.
Really quickly, sorry to interrupt the video. I just wanted to tell you something really cool that we've started doing with Inbox. I've actually created a school community where I teach you anything and everything I know about email and SMS marketing, from really advanced campaign strategies to how to simply set up your Klaviyo account, all the way to building really, really cool automations for the back end of your e-commerce store. Whether you're a business owner trying to learn how to do email marketing or an email marketer trying to learn how to become a better email marketer, there is a link in the description to this school community where I teach you everything I know. Check it out, it's worthwhile. Book a call to have a chat with me to see if you're a right fit for the community, and if you are, I'd love to get you in there. Anyway, sorry for interrupting your video, let's get back to it.
Hey guys, this is the last form on our strategy, and is the SMS sign up form. First of all, let's do the same. Let's download the background image. Let's do the same for the mobile version. Cool. Based on the instruction that you have received, you need to create another segment to target that form. You can clone this, name it properly, subscribe to email marketing, not subscribe to SMS, have subscribe, and only show on homepage. Cool. So this is what we are going to do. You can use one of these forms again to clone it, name it properly, and work on that. Let's add phone number. Cool. set up the list to submit. Should be the SMS subscribers. Cool. Delete that block. The disclosure should be at the end. In this case, the client haven't set up the account for SMS yet, so you should let your project manager know that the client needs to set up the account so you can adjust the padding of this input, because you won't be able to do by yourself. You will need to, when it's set it up, the account for SMS, you will need to update the disclosure as well. And again, update the background image. Cool. Set up it properly. This will be 30-second and regular pop-up. Do not show till 14 days again, and only show on homepage. So we need to exclude these. And we also need to show to specific segment that we already created. Subscribe to email but not to SMS. Cool. Let's complete the sign up form. You will have your own procedure, but this is how you can do it quickly and save being time. You're in. Keep out for messages. This will be Rubik font, set to 4 to 30, out for messages. We need to, that's it. Let's remove it. Let's remove it and set this to close the form. Adjust padding as well to match there it is. And that's it, guys. That's how you create the sign up form for SMS. This is our last step, guys. Let's clone this, set to mobile. Cool. This is for mobile. Let's go to styles. Let's set up the background. Cool. Let's adjust our fonts. Same thing here. It's too big for mobile. And the targeting and behavior is the same. That's it, guys. You have designed a form for SMS. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Let's create a sign up form from scratch. Remember to have your Figma file in another separate tab, and let's do this. You need to identify in which cases you need to use a background image and a side image. In this case, let's start with the first form with the background image. So this is our current strategy. So no side image. And this is a good size for the form. So let's set the background image. I've already downloaded the background. You need to set to cover the entire form, and you have the first part completely done. You need to add the proper logo, adjust paddings, and then you need to copy and paste text. If it happens that you don't have the proper font here, you need to add the font based on the Figma file as well. And if it happens that the font isn't a Google font, please ask to GPT that give you the closest font to that one. Let's pick the color from here. align the text properly, add the proper padding. And let's cool. Let's do style, and let's set the style of the input field. Background color to 0. Border. This is not needed. Corner radius, not needed. And input height, let's set to 55. The font will be the same as the text, and all will be set with the same design as the Figma file. Adjust paddings. Same here. And add the last text block. Same here, adjust paddings. A good recommendation, guys, work on paddings and trust on your eyes and the details that you may need. Perfect. Let's set the close button properly. Cool, we have the first step already done, mates. Let's go to the next one. So now we're gonna to jump from this and I will show you how to create these profile properties. You need to go to audience, pick any profile, and please add a custom property. In this case, should be the same as the question of the form, and set the value yes and no. Cool. When you finish, delete the property. And now on, we need to create another one. What's your favorite spirit? Will be Jean. Edit value will be vodka. Will be agave. Liquor, cool, or whiskey. Then delete the profile, and that's it. This will save your profile property. You need to refresh your form unit. Cool. So now, going to the first step, you need to submit form, show next step, add property, look the property that we added. As you can see, pick yes. This will be yes. Cool. Let's add the following one. Add another button. Action on the button. Add the other profile property. Pick the proper value. And let's set up the style of the button. Check the padding of the other button so you can match it. Cool, guys. Cloning again. And you need to follow the Figma file. There you have the profile property that we just created. You can clone the buttons, sorry. Cool, guys. Following the Figma file, we need to change this. Cool. Let's work on this padding. And let's double check if all was added properly. Cool, guys. And we just need to work on the last step. And let's add the discount code. Let's follow design. In this case, you can use a tool also to pick the color you may need. Always please follow the design that it's in Figma. And let's use the cows. In this case, this is a Google Commerce store, so we can auto apply the discount code as we usually do for Shopify. So in this case, we are going to add the discount code so people can click on copy, and it will auto apply the discount code and set the last button to use to close for. Let's configure design a form. based on your strategy. This is the first Senga form when we are looking to display at homepage only. So this is all, guys. We have created the first Senga forms for desktop.